Alright, today we're going to break down the fundamental framework for your backhand drive and rip. First, let's talk about your backhand stance. This is where many amateur players make a common mistake. The mistake is standing too close to the center line instead of in your backhand corner. This creates problems. I know you might do this to better cover your forehand, thinking you can't reach wide balls if you're in the corner. From the middle, it feels easier to just reach for a forehand shot. However, the correct backhand stance is to align your left foot with the sideline of the table. Your right foot should be near the center line, which means you need a wide stance. A narrow stance makes it difficult to move into position for a forehand. By widening your stance, you'll greatly improve your lower body stability and your ability to cover the entire table. Second, your distance from the table. For a backhand drive, keep a forearm's distance from the table. For a backhand rip, keep a full arm's length. A common reason for a weak backhand is continuously backing away from the table during a rally. Eventually, you'll be too far back and forced to lob. So, lock in your position in the backhand corner. The next question is, should your left foot be forward, or should you have a square stance? If your game is forehand dominant, I recommend a stance with your left foot slightly forward and your right foot slightly back. If you have a balanced two-winged game, I suggest a square stance, or even having your right foot slightly forward. For pips-out players, I always recommend a square stance, as it's more threatening from the middle. Ultimately, whether your left or right foot is forward must be decided based on your personal playing style. For my style, I generally use a square stance because the backhand is quick and compact in the middle. I only step around for a forehand when I need a high-quality shot. The second key point for the backhand is using your body frame to generate power. Notice that whether I'm hitting a backhand punch or a backhand rip, punch, rip, my shoulders remain stable and don't change position. Many players, when they try to generate power on their backhand, will unconsciously rotate their body. This means the left shoulder pulls back and the right shoulder pushes forward. This kind of movement creates too much instability, making recovery very difficult and preventing a quick transition to your forehand. So, for any backhand shot, you must maintain a posture with your chest slightly in and your core engaged. Without any pushing or rotating of the shoulders. Pay close attention to this. Even penhold players make this mistake on their backhand block, pushing their whole arm and shoulder forward when they want more power. After a shot like that, if your opponent returns to your forehand, you will almost certainly not be able to get to it. Therefore, you must keep your shoulders square to the table, allowing for a quick transition to your forehand after the shot. The forehand-backhand transition is a common problem. If you over-rotate on the backhand, you won't be ready for the next ball to your forehand. With the modern ABS ball, it's difficult to win the point with a single shot, so maintaining rally capability is crucial. Whether you're driving or ripping, never pull your left shoulder back and push your right shoulder forward, or you won't be ready for the next shot. So for all backhand shots, your body frame remains stable and engaged, using short, explosive power. This point is absolutely vital. Third, let's discuss the backswing. We'll start with the backhand drive to avoid confusion. First, let's talk about the distance between your racket and the ball. I feel my backhand is relatively solid because my backswing doesn't come too close to my body. For the backhand drive, my hand position during the backswing is at navel height. However, many amateurs stand too upright. If they place their hand at navel height, they miss the ball underneath. As a result, their forearm ends up angled downwards. This creates an awkward stroke. It's not quite a rip. A proper rip contacts the upper middle part of the ball. And it's not a drive either, because you can't generate any real power. This is the same problem as on the forehand side. When you stand too tall, you have to drop your forearm to even make contact with the ball. If you keep your forearm parallel to the ground as I suggest, your racket will be above the ball, preventing a solid hit and causing you to miss often. So, you naturally compensate by angling your forearm down for the backhand drive. Then you wonder why you can't generate power and the contact doesn't feel solid. The real reason is that your center of gravity is too high. Lower your center of gravity slightly and bring your hand to navel height. While the angled forearm isn't entirely wrong, it will be less effective in a counter-driving rally. So, get your center of gravity down, and shape your upper body into a C posture. Your upper body should be leaning forward with your core engaged, creating a slight curve. Your backhand posture should never be completely straight or upright. The keys to the backhand are: lower your center of gravity, engage your core, lean forward, and keep your hand at navel height. When executing a backhand drive, your elbow doesn't need to be flared out. It should be relaxed and slightly lowered. This also applies to the reverse penhold backhand, RPB. And your forearm should be almost parallel to the floor, not angled down. Your forearm shouldn't be angled like this. For a backhand drive, it should feel parallel, not pointing downwards. Even for a rip, the motion isn't downward. For a rip, you bring the racket up and forward from behind the ball. So for a drive, keep your elbow slightly lowered and don't tense it up, because it's a direct, forward-hitting motion. Align your racket with your navel, and during the backswing, maintain some space between your hand and your body, at least a palm's distance. This means your backswing should consistently return to the same starting point, not a different position each time. If your backswing is too close to your body, you'll get jammed after just 2 or 3 shots in a rally. You might wonder why your backhand is always getting jammed and why you can't take the initiative. It's because your backswing is too deep. Each shot pulls back further than the last. So as soon as your opponent plays a slightly deeper ball, you're immediately jammed. So for your backhand, it's crucial that your backswing doesn't come too close to your body. Always maintain at least a palm's width of space. Think of it as always returning to a consistent ready position, regardless of the speed of the incoming ball. Unless you are preparing for a powerful kill shot where a larger backswing is needed, keep your recovery position away from your body. This will allow you to stay in the rally consistently. Fourth, let's discuss the racket angle on the backswing. Since we're talking about the drive, you can think of it as the opposite of your forehand. For a backhand drive, your racket face should be angled to hit the ball at roughly the 2 o'clock position. The reason many players frequently hit the edge of their racket is because their racket face is too closed during the stroke. Frequently hitting the edge or mishitting the ball is often caused by closing the racket angle too much. This causes you to brush the ball too thinly. Many players have this issue, hitting the edge every few shots, which then forces them to constantly readjust their racket angle mid-rally. Instead, focus on using a consistent 2 o'clock racket angle. By maintaining a stable racket face through the entire stroke, you will achieve much more solid contact. To summarize, your racket angle should remain constant from the beginning of the stroke, through contact, to the follow-through. There should be no secondary flipping motion of the wrist or racket. Any extra flipping motion is incorrect. Contact the ball at the 2 o'clock position, which means your racket face should be slightly closed. Imagine the very side of the ball is 3 o'clock and the top is 12 o'clock. The 2 o'clock position is just slightly above the equator. To be clear, I'm talking about the contact point on the ball, not the angle of the racket itself. Think of the ball as a clock. 12 is the top, 6 is the bottom, 3 is the side. 2 o'clock just means you close your racket angle slightly. This is a general guide, you must adjust for each shot. If you try to rigidly memorize a specific angle, your game will become robotic and ineffective. Remember, the ball is round, and every opponent's spin and rhythm will be different. Rote memorization will only hold you back. So, during your backswing, it's crucial to maintain a stable racket face. Any wavering will lead to errors. Join our membership to unlock daily exclusive shorts, and discover the coach's secret tips and tricks on table tennis technique. You'll also get our weekly on-court coaching series. Silver members get even more and also unlock the exclusive weekly Coach's Corner series. Thank you for supporting the channel's growth.